Welcome to the Mega Print on Demand Summit. I'm Melissa Reynolds. This is day 2 of our summit, and we will be discussing targeting the right audience. So are you ready to learn more about print on demand? I sure am. So let's get started.
Hi, my name is Jenny Hunt, and I am here with the Mega Print on Demand Summit. Thank you, Melissa and Stephen, and for inviting me to be a part of this. I'm excited to be here. We're going to be talking about 3 ways to make money with KDP. And if you don't know what KDP is, we'll talk about that. So don't worry. If you do know, then hopefully we'll be sharing some other information that will be of value to you about how you can use KDP to make money. So a little bit about who I am. My name is Jenny Hunt, and man, I've known the Hibbert brothers for, I don't know, has it been 5 years, 4 years, somewhere in there? Again, I'm excited to be here. I started my business about 16 and a half years ago when I had 2 littles underfoot. I had a newborn and a 3-year-old, and I needed to supplement our income. And I turned to eBay to do that. I wanted to stay home. And even though I had a marketing background, I had done some freelance work, but I was finding that eBay was a really good resource for me. So I was flipping children's items that I found at garage sales on eBay. And after a while, I got kind of burned out on that and decided to find out how I could share what I knew and what I had learned with other moms who wanted to stay home with their kids. And so I started a membership site where I shared how items to look for at garage sales, how to know what they'll sell for on eBay. And it was a weekly thing that people could subscribe to. And overnight, I had 500 subscribers for that. And I was hooked because all of a sudden I went from a lot of work. Back in those days, we didn't have the smartphones. We had digital cameras, but you still had to plug them into your computer and upload pictures to get your listings done. And it was a lot of work for me with little kids. And so switching to being able to offer something like a membership site, I all of a sudden went to 40 hours working to about 2 hours a week working and making close to the same amount of money. So I was hooked on being able to help other people. And over the years, I've learned kind of just a fire inside of me, a passion to be able to help others succeed in their businesses. So in regards to KDP, I have been talking about that before it was KDP. It used to be Create Space. And I wrote a book years ago, about 7 years ago, when my husband lost his job, just about kind of was based on some things that I've been learning in my journey. And I self-published through Create Space. Soon after that, I partnered with my friend and business partner, Ryan Rieger, and we created a mentoring program around a book that he had published called Private Label the Easy Way. And in that training, and as we were working with people who were selling on Amazon and helping them with their private label, I realized that creating a book can be something that works really well with a private label product and creating a bundle. We'll talk about that today. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of my background, where I come from. Again, 16, 17 years I've been growing my business. And it went from eBay to helping people to selling on Amazon to continuing to help people. And this is really what I'm passionate about, to be able to be here and to help you. So I'm excited to dig in with you about 3 ways to make money with KDP. So first of all, let's just answer this question. Just get it out of the way. What in the world is KDP and why should I care? I mean, really, there's so many acronyms out there. Why in the world should I care? So KDP stands for Kindle Direct Publishing. And sometimes when you think of Kindle Direct Publishing and you hear Kindle, you think of their e-reader, right? Their ebook reader. And but Amazon now offers not just ebooks, but they also offer paperback books, real hard copy paperback books, okay? And that's really what we're talking about. So Kindle Direct Publishing allows you to do an ebook, but it also allows you to do a paperback book with their print on demand. It's Amazon's print on demand self-publishing platform. So in case you, at this point, you probably all know what print on demand is. It basically means that you can create a cover, create your interior pages, upload those into Amazon's KDP platform. Amazon creates the listing. You don't pay a penny, okay? And then when a customer finds your book, buys your book, Amazon prints the book, they take their cut, they send you your royalty, and they send the book to the customer. So there's no out-of-pocket fees. up in the get-go. And then self-publishing, you are in control. If you're familiar at all with traditional publishing, it's kind of a bummer because you do have to invest in a lot of books for it to make sense. So you might have a couple hundred books. If you have an error or something along those lines, it's a bummer. Self-publishing puts you in control. So you can, with print on demand, print 1, print 10, print 0, and just have them sell through Amazon or not. Self-publishing puts you in control as to how that book is going to be published and marketed. So Kindle Direct Publishing, KDP, is Amazon's print on demand self-publishing platform. And one of the things I really want to challenge you to think about is looking at KDP, and in fact looking at all of the print on demand different platforms as tools. Okay, I know a lot of people, I work with a lot of Amazon sellers, and many of them will say that when I ask them, what is your business? What do you do? They say they're an Amazon seller. And Amazon really is a tool. It's not their business. KDP is not a business. It's a tool for your business. Okay, so I want to put that in context here because that's important, because the same principles that you're going to learn today about how to make money with KDP, if something happened to KDP and it was gone tomorrow, you could still apply those 3 principles that we're going to talk about, the same principles, to a new platform. Okay, so KDP really is a tool. And it is a tool that provides, actually this is also for all print on demand, it automatically is replenishable. So it's something that automatically replenishes itself over and over and over again. And you might have heard the term replens. That's what this is. It's providing for you is something that you don't ever have to ship in to Amazon. They take care of all that for you, and it's all automatic. That's a real value of print on demand. But specifically, we're going to talk about, books, right? Is this too good to be true? Well, print on demand and KDP, it makes it all possible. It makes it possible for you to have loads of benefits for being able to not have any out-of-pocket costs. And we'll get into the benefits a little bit more in a minute, but it's a gem. It's a gem, and I'm excited to be digging in with you guys. So let's talk about why specifically KDP, because there are other print-on-demand platforms for books, okay? And the number one reason I would say is that's where the customers are. KDP is Amazon's platform, and so a lot of, Amazon started years ago with just books. And a lot of people, they don't think to go to Barnes & Noble, they don't think to go to other places, they think to go to Amazon. So that's where your customers are. So let's use their platform that's made for that. There's no inventory costs. Now this is true for all print on demand, right? But no inventory costs. You don't have to pay anything. Once the customer buys it, that's when you get royalty fees, and that's when Amazon takes their fees. One of the things that's beautiful about KDP is that there's no long account approval processes. There's other programs, we won't name them, where you don't know if you're going to be accepted or denied in 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. There's no communication. Well, with KDP, it's not like that. There's no long account approval process. You're instantly in there. You just have to set up your account. And this is a beauty too. There's no book limit. Okay, we do know that some other platforms, again, I won't name them, you're limited to how many slots you have, how many, you're not limited here for how many books you have. You're not capped at 10, you're not capped at 25. You don't have to wait to do this magic formula to see if you get to 100. Nope, as far as we can tell, we have yet to hit a book limit. Okay, and we're talking lots of books have been published underneath single accounts. So no book limit as far as we know. And what also is really cool is you can bundle with other items. We're going to talk more about this as one of the ways to make money with KDP. But this is, I think, it's one of the best strategies out there for being able to make money with KDP is bundling with other items. But this one, all the way, it's free, guys. It's free, free, free. And that is just the best thing, because not only is it great because it doesn't cost you anything, but there's this mind shift that allows you to have. This mind shift is that you can use, and I know that Stephen and Nate talk about this, and actually I think they're the ones who really planted the seed in my head when I was already talking about Create Space at the time, is that because it's free, you can use it as a tool for testing. Okay, because it's free, You know, I have people, I teach a class on this, and people will ask me, should I do the 8.5 by 11 size, or should I do a 6 by 9 size? And I say, do both. Or they'll say, should I have a purple cover or should I have a yellow cover? Do both and see what happens. So that's a mind shift. People want to have all their ducks in a row and have it all perfect before they move forward. But if you can look at it differently and look at the opportunity that there is to just try things without a cost, that's pretty sweet. And that's what's so cool about this, that KDP is free. It allows you that freedom to explore that mind shift. Okay. All right. Here's the thing. Like I said, I teach this. And when I was first talking about using KDP, using books, okay, we're talking about books, using books to make money, that you had to create a book and publish a book, people, this is the response I got. I'm not kidding you. Everybody was like a deer in the headlights, and they're freaked out. I'm not a writer. I totally get it. But you know what? You don't have to be a writer. You absolutely do not have to be a writer. We're talking about using KDP and all the 3 ways that I say for how to make money with KDP. We're talking about KDP as a low content book. Okay, what in the world is a low content book? Well, low content books are books that have low content in them. Okay, so here's some examples, like a journal, or even a cookbook, a book that's full of recipes, an activity book, a quote book. My daughter made a book, and it was 101 reasons to give a high five. And every page had a reason. It could be a prompt journal. Maybe you think you have something like this, like a gratitude journal. So every page says, today I'm thankful for, and then it's just a bunch of lines. That's it. That's a low content book. You don't have to write a story. You don't have to share your autobiography or your memoir. You don't have to write a novel. You don't have to do that. It can be even a log, like a fitness log or anything that's tracked, workbook, anything like that, a guide for something. Those are all what we call low content books. And that's why if you can learn how to do low content books, how to create them, guys, a journal has lines in it. Lines, that's it. There's no, that you just have lines, okay? Yeah, of course you can add more, like I said, with the prompt journal, today I'm grateful for at the top, and then have lines, but there, you don't have to have a bunch of, you don't have to, there's not a lot of work involved, and every page is the same, or maybe you have 10 pages that repeat themselves, okay? Those are low content books, and they're very, very popular. Journals are huge. Ask any girl between the age of, I would say 10 and 25 or 35, if they have a journal. Usually the question when I ask that question, the answer I get is, oh yeah, I've got 7 up on my shelf. I haven't written them, but I've got 7. They're trendy. People want to have them. So that's just seriously lines on your interior. So KDP can be used for low content books, and that's really going to be what we focus on. So when you have KDP though, and that is at Amazon's platform for print on demand, self-published books, paperback books, you have KDP, and you put that together with low content books, the types of books we're talking about, that means you've got opportunity, okay? Opportunity, but how do you find that opportunity? And that's where we're going to dig into 3 KDP strategies to make money, 3 ways to make money using Kindle Direct Publishing, okay? So the first way is to bundle. And I mentioned this a little bit. This is really where I did self-publish my first book that I wrote, but it was a Christmas devotional. It was about, it was just kind of my own personal story of things that I was learning and dealing with our first Christmas after my husband had lost his job, and just dealing with that. So, but as far as teaching and helping other people, I started here with KDP bundling. Okay, so KDP bundle is something really, I'm focusing on Amazon here, that you're gonna be selling on Amazon, and all of the items that are included in your bundle are complementary to some extent. You can have one item like a jump rope and have a KDP book, which might be a jump rope log. Those 2 go together, you have a bundle. Okay, they're complementary items. One of them happens to be your book. When you do this, your book, you do have to buy copies of it because, but you pay wholesale. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. but Amazon requires that you send in a bundle ready to ship to the customer. All your items are ready to ship to the customer. So you can't bundle it on Amazon's site, have the KDP book. So you do have to order your KDP book wholesale at the author price, which is super cheap, and create your bundles and then ship those into Amazon. So this example here, it's a bonsai gardening type of a kit thing. I am not a gardener, my daughter is. And here is a book with it. Now this is not a KDP book. It's, you can tell by the, the publisher, the brand there. But all of these items are related, and then they have a book that's included in it. So, and they put them in a box. So this whole thing together could be considered a kit, or it could be a bundle. Okay, so let's tear this down just a little bit. This is very similar. I'm not sure if it's the exact same. This is selling for $33. This one's, this is 18, it's not a bonsai, obviously. This one here is a starter kit. It's got maybe a few other things. Looks very similar as well. That one's 35. There was a few others, 33. They kind of range in price. But let's just say the cost for me to get something like this, okay, let's go back to the slide before. These items here, maybe that's about $7, all right? Your book, that size book, now I'm talking about this size. This is a 6x9 book, okay? This book cost me $2.15 wholesale plus shipping, all right? So let's say $3 per book for the KDP book cost. So my total cost, if I was gonna sell this bundle of a book and then a garden kit together, would be $10, all right? Now, the bonsai garden kit price, maybe by itself, I might be able to sell it for 15, maybe $20 even, right? Without the book, I mean, here, this one, it does have a little booklet. So maybe $20. I went a little low, I think, on this for 15. My bonsai KDP book price at this size of a book, I could probably list for $15. All right, so my total list price with those two would be 30. That's what it would, that's what it would cost. Now, let's say I actually change this. I'm going to do some editing on the fly here. Let's say I change this to $20. The garden on its own, it sells for $20 for the garden kit. The bonsai book, $15. That's what it's listed for on Amazon. The total price is going to be $35. But when I make my own bundle, maybe I want to have it be $30. Okay. So then people will go and you get credibility for your price point here, because people will go look at your book and go, oh, the book's selling for 15. And I found these other garden kits, bonsai garden kits for 20-ish, man, they're only selling it for 30. That's actually not too bad. And so the book helps give credibility to your price point, even though your cost for the book was only $3. Okay, that's a pretty cool way to get a higher price point with your bundle or with items. It doesn't have to be a bunch of things. You just need at least 2 to make a bundle, and they just need to be complementary. So thinking about the low content books, a journal, could you make a journal that goes with it? A gardening journal, a planner, a cookbook, could go with anything that's related to food, a dieting type of a thing, anything. So think about what types of books that are low content that you could bundle with a physical product, another type of product. All right, so that's the first way that you can make money with KDP, is with bundling. Secondly is with partnering, and this is a very, very cool strategy. This is great if you need money, a significant amount of money up front. I think KDP partnering is amazing, okay? And I have students who are doing incredibly well after learning this process. So basically what KDP partnering is finding people, other companies, other entrepreneurs, small businesses, usually brick and mortar type businesses that you can partner with and you can create a book for. So remember, we're looking at low content books. That's this column here. So you got journals, workbooks, logs, anything with tracking, a recipe book, a self-help book, quotes, a guide for something, anything along those lines, okay? Low content. And it really could even be a book that your partner writes and you could self-publish for them. But let's just stick with the low content. You're gonna be thinking, okay, who needs these types of products? Home crafters or a coach? Guys, coaching's huge right now. Life coaches, business coaches, there's spiritual directors, there's fitness coaches, there's all kinds of coaches. It's the thing. You could go and partner with them, because I bet they do not have a workbook or a journal that they have their clients walk through. I know a bunch of business coaches who the first thing they've told me, first thing I do is I tell my clients, go get a spiral bound notebook. And every day I want you to write down this, this, and this. All right, stop. The first thing they should do is have their own workbook, and inside is lined pages, and it says the 3 things they want them to be writing down every day. And they can say, yeah, you could go get a notebook, but if you go get my book, okay, and have it be branded, or you could send them a free copy and that just increases your value. Whatever they want to do, you can partner with these coaches and say, hey, I have a way that you can better serve your clients. I'd love to tell you about it. You can actually create a book, like a workbook. Have you ever done something like that for your clients? I'm happy to do that for you. That's what I do. I create logs and workbooks for businesses, small businesses that are customized and branded for you. They don't even know this exists. And when they think of books, they think also of traditional publishing. So they're thinking super high cost. They have to buy 500 books and have them sitting in their office. And when you tell them they can just get one at a time, or even that they don't even have to buy any, that they can just have them on Amazon, that's amazing. And the reason that this is a good way to make money quickly is you can ask for a setup fee up front. And we're talking like $250, $500, easy. And most of these businesses don't blink at that, okay? So educators, life coaches, trainers, go to the gym, realtors, self-help people, think about who could use these types of low income books. Low content books, all right? And you could partner with them. Once you understand the process of how to get a book published using KDP, you can partner with them to have them get their, even if it's just a plain journal for their business or for their brand. Okay, that is partnering. And then finally, okay, what about, okay, this is great. I love the idea of bundling, but I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to buy my books wholesale. I don't want to bundle. I don't want to send anything to Amazon. That's fine. Partnering, okay, I don't really want to go talk to anybody. All right, I get that. So the other way that you can make money with KDP is to just publish books, okay? Now, I'm a big fan of doing what I call validating ahead of time. I highly recommend that you not just go, oh, I'm just going to create a monkey journal, a journal with monkeys on it, or unicorns or something, sloths, I don't know, an animal that's really popular or something like that. I'm going to do that and see if it sells. So you can totally do that, because remember that mind shift, it's free. But I'm going to suggest that you actually take the time to validate some ideas that will help increase your opportunity for profit. Okay, so we're going to talk real quick about this validation process. And Stephen helped me a few years ago kind of nail this down. What does this look like for books? Okay, so first of all, what I recommend that you do when you're looking to use KDP and you want to validate is to go use Amazon's search bar, okay? This is such an underused tool. Their search bar, when you type in a word, I'm sure you've seen it on Amazon, Google does it, Pinterest does it, Etsy does it, lots of places. When you go to search, they make suggestions for you, right? As you're typing, they'll make suggestions because they think they know what you're going to type in, because they have the data of what all these other customers typed in. So they're saying, oh, she's going to type in journal. Well, look, all these people typed in journal, and they typed in journal notebook, journal for men, journal pens. So we're going to make it easy for her so she doesn't have to type and make her fingers all tired, and just she can choose one of these, right? So that's super valuable information. Now, we don't know how many people were searching for these terms, but we know that it had some search volume behind it, and that's enough for us to be able to move forward. So what I suggest is, if you have an idea, or if you don't have an idea and you just start typing in letters, look and see what Amazon is suggesting for you. And whatever they're suggesting, take a look at it and go, okay, what here could I create a KDP book around? And then let me tell you something. KDP books, there are a few restrictions. First of all, they're all paperback. You can't do leather bound. You can't do spiral bound. There's no hardback books. They're all paperback. They're good quality paperback, but they're paperback. Secondly, you have to have a minimum of 24 pages. Now that's not very many, okay? That's almost a pamphlet size. The third thing is you can only have four pages of your book be blank. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to have words all over all the other pages. You can have just a graphic on the bottom of the page, a footer of some sort, a little, watermark type of a thing going on. Those would not be considered blank pages. Even if they have a page number in the corner, that's not a blank page. But number of pages with nothing on them is 4. That's the limit. And then the other thing, though, those are restrictions, but keep in mind, you can do a book in any size. They do have custom sizes, and they also have, your standard 6x9 and whatever, all of those. But there are some really cool custom sizes that you can do. So keep those things in mind when you're looking through what Amazon is suggesting as you're typing keywords. So if I type in journal, now this was a while ago that I took the screenshot, so I'm sure the results will be different. And for you, it might look a little different because usually Amazon just has this one column right here, that's the white column. I have a tool called the Amazon Search Expander that it's free on Chrome extension, and it's a Chrome extension, and it expands as if I had typed like journal 4, it brings in words, or journal and it'll add the words there. It puts words, if there's keywords that are after the word journal, keywords that are before. So it just helps expand it, cuts some time. It's a cool tool. So I just look here and I think, okay, what would apply as a KDP book? Journals to write in for women? Yes. Journal notebook? Yes. Journal pens? No, that's not a KDP book, right? So I go through this list and I just kind of take this mental note. Now, a lot of these, journal and calendar planner, I could have put an arrow there as well, but you get an idea that there's a lot here that are good starting points for validating. Validating, remember, is we want to have a little bit of data, a little bit of proof that this is there's opportunity here for success. Now, it isn't proof. It's not 100% because there's also, there's other components beyond just the data. There's an emotional component with books and with graphics. So that comes with the cover. But it's free. So remember, I gave you the example. Is it the purple cover or the yellow cover? Do both and see which one's going to connect with your audience. But from keywords, this helps us know what direction to start in. And sometimes colors come up as keywords. Okay, so from here, we look and see, so if I typed in travel I don't even finish, and Amazon suggests travel journal for kids, travel journal, this is a tongue twister, for kids, for men, for women, travel journal inserts doesn't really work, but travel journals to write in for women, that's a little long tail, but it's suggested for teens. Travel journal with prompts. Travel journal set might be a good one for a bundle, right? But not just a KDP book by itself. You can't put pockets in there. So there's still a good number. There's 7 or so that come up in just the search results or suggested search terms that Amazon gives you. So that's the place to start. And once you find something like travel journal, then you click on that and we do what we call the 3 R's. And that helps us validate. So we want to make sure it passes these 3 R's. I'm going to go through them real quick. Okay, now all 3 of them. It's results. We're going to look at results. We're going to look at rank, and we're going to look at reviews. So for results, we want to see that there's less than 3,000 results. Now, the smaller that number, the less competition. Okay? But that can also mean the smaller that number, it could mean the less demand. We don't know yet, but we're kind of trying to find that sweet spot between the demand, how much demand is there, and we don't want too much competition. Competition overall can be good in that it can tell us that there is some demand for it. But anyway, the gauge we use is results being less than 3,000. I'll show you what that looks like. So right now, the way Amazon presents this information is they say it this way. So when I type memory journal for mom, they say 1 to 16 of over 2,000 results. So that's less than 3,000. If it said over 3,000 results, then clearly that's more than 3,000, right? But it says over 2,000. So that's silly the way they do it, but that would pass that first R. We want to make sure that the results are less than 3,000. All right, here's another example, bullet journal. and I bet this was again done a while ago. I bet this is actually has way more results than 10,000 now. But 10,000 over 10,000, too many, does not pass the first R. Okay. Handwriting workbook for adults. This one has 321 results. So it's less than 3,000. It passes that first R. Journal for women, inspirational. Yeah, that doesn't really make sense, but that's how keywords are, right? Key phrases. I don't know about you, but when I'm typing in something, I might type journal for women, and then I realize, oh wait, I don't really like this. I really want something that's inspirational. So then I'll add that at the end of my search instead of typing inspirational journal for women. So that's just kind of how people think and how they tend to search. So this was suggested by Amazon, but it has too many results. We're looking for less than 3,000, and it has over 7,000. So that one does not pass that first R. All right, so that's results. We want less than 3,000 results. The second R is rank. Okay, people get kind of weird on this one because I'm looking at average rank. People say, and I totally get it, rank is really about that moment in time. And I get that. But what we're looking at is average rank. So we're looking across the board of multiple products. And our goal is to look for space in the market. We're not looking at a specific listing to get on that listing. So if you're an Amazon seller, you'll probably know more of, understand what I'm talking about. On Amazon, they have community listings. So if you and me, if we both have the same product, we have to be on the same listing on Amazon, okay? On eBay, you don't. You would have your listing, I would have mine. You could have your title however you want, and I would have my title however I want. You'd have your pictures, I'd have my pictures. But on Amazon, all the sellers for the same product are on the same listing, okay? So if I'm looking to get on that listing, then I'm gonna wanna know how it ranks. I wanna know certain information about that particular listing. But that's not what we're doing. We're looking to create a new book. So we wanna know that there's space for that, okay? For this new book. We wanna know what the market looks like. And we can kind of get a gauge looking at rank, average rank. So we want to see that average rank is less than 1 million. Now, the lower the number, the better. This helps us determine demand. If it's over 1 million, the higher the number is, the more likely it's not going to sell. Doesn't mean it won't ever, but we're just using this as a gauge. So the lower the number, the better space there is for the book that you're looking for. Now remember, we did results. We want to see less than 3,000. Now, for anything that passed that, we're going to look at the average rank is less than 1 million. And we'll use a tool for this. This is Jungle Scout's Chrome extension. There's another really cool tool called the Amazon, I'm going blank on it right now, Evaluator, Amazon Evaluator, sorry, and it is on a Chrome extension as well. And it has, it gives you this same kind of information as Jungle Scout, only it will give you a pass for KDP for the 3 R's. I think it does it for merch as well with what Stephen and Nate have. And then it has private label score, also how Ryan Rieger and I teach it. So this is a valuable tool. I'm just going to use Jungle Scout right now, but know that the Amazon Evaluator, I think it's a little cheaper. So if you don't have Jungle Scout, you might want to look at the Amazon Evaluator, and it's like, I don't know, 10 bucks, 15, 20 bucks a month. Anyway, it will give you the information that you need. Any tool that will give you the average rank for the results page will work. All right, that's all you need. So I'm just using Jungle Scout. So when I search garden journal and logbook, that's what was searched here. If you look over here, I've got 426 results, and I want to see the average rank is 491,000. Now remember, I want to see the average rank to be under 1 million. So this works for me. So far this one passes those first 2 R's. All right, let's move on. So here's another one. This is Journal for a Lost Loved One. Now I want you to see, okay, we don't know. Has 95 results. Sorry, that 48 was throwing me off. Has 95 results for Journal for a Lost Loved One. Now, if I saw that, I'd be like, cool. There's not a whole lot of results here. That means there's not very much competition. But then we want to look at that average sales rank. It's 1.5 million. So it might not sell. It doesn't pass that second R. So Journal for a Lost Loved One does not pass the 3 R's. It didn't get past that second R. that's a no. All right, that's how we do the second one. Then finally, we want to look at reviews. That's our third R. So number one, we have results. We want to see less than 3,000. Number two, we want to look at the average rank, and we want that to be less than 1 million. For the third R, we want to look at reviews. And for reviews, we're just going to look at those first 10 listings that come up on a search results page. And we want to see that 3 to 4 of those first 10 listings have less than 50 reviews. And this just sort of gives us that balance between competition and demand. Again, I use a tool. You don't have to. You can actually go through and see how many reviews those first 10 that come up are. We don't count the sponsored listings. All right, so this one, I don't remember. I think it's Cactus Bullet Journal was the term. And you can see here, we don't know how many results there were. Sorry, I cut that off. But the average sales rank was 500,000, 502,000. So it passed that second R. And what you're going to do for reviews, remember, we want those first 10 listings, that's these 10 here, and we want to see that 3 or 4 of them have less than 50, and this one does. It has 8 that have less than 50 reviews. So this tells us that there's space for the search term Cactus Bullet Journal, and to create journals with that term or that title, but really that keyword, that key phrase. All right, so that's the 3 R's. You look at results, well, you want to see that there's less than 3,000 results. We look at rank, we want to see that there's less than 1 million in your average rank. And we look at reviews, we want to see that there's at least 3 to 4 with less than 50 reviews in those first 10. And if those 3 pass, then you move forward and use that in creating your KDP book. It can be in your title, your description, there's a space for keywords. But that will help you know where are the gaps. What are people searching for where it might be underserved, where I can come in with a book and people are already looking for it and hopefully get a good sale out of that. So that's kind of the basic, guys. We talked about a lot. So we got 3 ways to make money with KDP. We talked about bundling. We talked about partnering. And then finally, we just talked about, how do you even know what kinds of books to create if all you want to do is sell them on Amazon? And we use the 3 R's to validate. So I just wanted to let you know, I have a class that it's usually a live class, and every once in a while we do one, but I have all the recordings I've put together and actually did a intensive 10 books in 10 days. And basically what it is we go through the research like I just showed you. We talk about the paperback details, paperback content. We go through cover creation. We use Canva for that. We talk about how to upload, how to use Canva with their cover creator that KDP has on their platform. And we go through publishing books for review, the review process, and then even what's next. So all of that is in a class that I have. Often I do it live, maybe 3 times, 4 times a year. I do it with my daughter, but we have the recording of all of this information together for you if we're not having a live class. And then I ended up offering a part 2 because people wanted to dig deeper into bundling and deeper into partnering. And what does that look like? Who in the world do you ask? How do you ask them? How do you do the pricing? How do you, what do you do? How do you actually make approach people and really make something out of partnering with people, with other businesses, with KDP? So part 2 has 2 additional components to it. We go deeper into bundling, do a whole training on that, and deeper into partnering when we do a whole training on that. So this whole piece together, I put together on a group called allthingskdp.com on a webpage, and it sold for $97. And right now, guys, you can get the recordings for all of that. I don't have a live class going, but the recordings for all of that. So you get all of the training for how to publish your book on KDP, how to do bundling, and how to partner and get started in a business in that way at allthingskdp.com. But don't pay the $97. There's a $70 off coupon. Okay, you just use the code POD Summit, and that will get it. You'll get it for $27. You'll get all the videos immediately. They're right there on that thank you page. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to encourage you. I wanted to share it with you, an opportunity with KDP. Let me just say real quick, go to kdp.amazon.com and set up your KDP account. It's free and lots of opportunity there. So thanks so much for having me, and enjoy the rest of the summit.
Wow, that was some great information. I hope you took lots of notes. The recording of the session will be up until midnight, but if you want to see the recordings after that, you can get our All Access Pass, which includes the recordings from all of the sessions by clicking the link below. Don't forget to share this link with anybody that's interested in starting their own print-on-demand business.